All right, what's up, guys? It is the end of the day, and it's time to hit OddsJam, see if we can find something. If I saw in the comments yesterday, a lot of you guys didn't even know what OddsJam was. So basically, what it is it's just tools to help you be a better sports bettor. There's a million of them. We actually need them. They're pretty much designed for, I don't know, for everybody really, but I use them because I'm always on the go. Like I have 3 kids, so I always have somewhere to be, always, all the time, always. So you want to be able to tap in though, you know what I mean? You don't want to miss stuff. So what you do is they have a positive EV tool. I'll click that. Let me show you what that does. It's going to pull up everything here. So right here, this is the no vig fair odds on Chris Bryant hits tonight. At FanDuel, they're offering plus 190 for over 1.5 hits. The fair odds are plus 165. So this really should be plus 165, but we're getting at plus 190. That's what I like to call a deal. So you would just go into FanDuel, smack it around, and put the bet in. At all these other books, you can check it out. Plus 150 at BetMGM, plus 139 at Caesars, plus 150 at DraftKings, like plus 146 at BetOnline. I mean, it at nowhere is it plus 190. So that's a deal. Now you go down to the next one. Obviously, we're going to need baseball for tonight. I mean, I guess there is college football, but I'm going to go by the EV page first. The next one is in the Reds-Mets game. Player earned runs. David Peterson under 1.5 at Caesars. The no vig odds, plus 156. We're getting plus 162. I mean, it's a deal. You know, no matter how you slice it. Open up the matchup, and you're going to see that everybody else is way under this. Like plus 130, plus 137 at Pinnacle, which is a pretty sharp book. So I like to see what they're offering on everything before I actually go in on stuff. But plus 162 is just way better than anything else. So I don't know if that's a stale line or if they're just higher on Peterson than others, but it really doesn't matter. Actually, what I jumped on to, I got to leave in about 15 more minutes, but what I jumped on to actually look through was football. See if there's anything hanging out for this weekend. I sorted there by football, or filtered by football there, all football. So because we have NCAA football, apparently we have CFL too. Canadians are playing. But I don't have today, do I? Okay. All right. So yeah, I sorted by today. Virginia, Maryland tonight. Looks like Fanatics. Looks like the over 46.5. You know we love overs. I mean, it's barely better than the minus 124 plus 0.24. So technically it is better. Pinnacle likes it at minus 136. My bookie's got it at minus 147. FanDuel's minus 150. And then Fanatics is just hanging out with minus 125. That'll probably get adjusted. I love taking overs at 7 o'clock tonight, too. It's a pretty good time for me, but that's another story. Looking through, there's really not much for tonight, so I'll go ahead and switch it out of the date and just go at any point and see if we can get some NFL. Oh, an under. That's gross. That's for tomorrow. All right, it looks like under in Fresno State, Arizona State, under 48.5. That's at FanDuel, plus 114. No vig odds are plus 109. If you don't know what no vig odds mean, it just means like no vigorish. Like the way sportsbooks are paid is through the vigorish. It's a Russian word. But it's basically their fee. They don't just take it off of every like single bet, like a flat rate or anything. They do it in the line there. So if you strip that out, this should be plus 109, but we're getting plus 114. That's a better deal. So if you literally beat the number every time, you're gonna be profitable over time. And the thing about plus EV betting is the more you bet, the more you're gonna make. Because think of it as like a coin that's kind of weighted towards heads, right? So if you flipped it 100 times, it's going to land on heads more than it's not going to land on heads. So basically, if you were, the more times you flip it, the more times it's going to land on heads. That's just how, it works. But if you were betting on it, you would always bet heads just because it's going to land on heads more times than it's not. Well, this is just exactly that. These bets are going to win more times than they're not over time. So you should be fine. Somebody was asking about width yesterday. That's the market width. The lower that number is, the more sure these books are of these prices. And the higher they are, the more the books don't feel like they can price it. So it's just the width across the industry. One thing I like to do, probably, I shouldn't even show you guys this, but I'm going to show it to you, is I like to do what I call the psycho filter. And I take the width and I just make it as big as possible. So we'll do, let's say, actually, nobody get it off. The max odds, 900, 1900. All right, so the player home runs, that's what they're going to return. Look at the width here. The width is like 450. I mean, they can't price these just because, then think about it, a home run you really can't price just because it's such a, it's a hit or miss thing. I mean, it's one swing of a bat. It's one instance. But looks like Dansby Swanson, if you guys want to do like a parlay, I'd say anything over 10% throw into it. I mean, I guess you could do the Chris Bryant over 1.5 hits, but if you wanted to, Judge, Garver, Kepler, and Swanson all at FanDuel, they're all better prices there. So when you open it up, you're going to see that Dansby Swanson is plus 560 at FanDuel, right? Everywhere else, look at Pinnacle, he's plus 397. Even when they're beating like really badly. I wonder if the lineups are out yet, and that's why. Whatever. Anyways, that's not bad. Kepler plus 440. Pinnacle's got him at plus 323. I mean, there's some books right here. Who is that? Boom Fantasy plus 242. I mean, that's ridiculous. But still, it shows Caesars plus 280. You can get plus 440 there. So the first four guys right there, Aaron Judge, Garver, Max Kepler, Swanson, I would just throw those into a parlay quickly and be about my day. That way I have a home run parlay and I have a positive EV home run parlay. If you're going to be doing dumb stuff like that, like I call it dumb, but I mean, I don't think it's that dumb. It's fun. But I mean, if you're going to be doing stuff like that, it might as well be positive EV. That's just the way it works. So now after I hit the positive EV, I usually hit the arbitrage page just to see what's there. These are tough to get. You got to be quick, but it's free money. Like this one right here, Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. BetMGM has plus 220 on over 11.5 corners, and then Fanatics has under 11.5 corners for minus 200. You can bet both sides of that and win money. So if you want to do 100 at BetMGM, you would bet 213 at Fanatics, and you would get a risk-free profit of $6.67. Like risk-free. Like no matter what happens, you're going to win. If it goes over, you're going to win $6.67. If it goes under, you'll win $6.67. It's tough to beat free money, but that's how you get it. Again, though, you got to be quick. These types are the ones that stick around the longest from what I've noticed. The Packers-Falcons games, you're going to have tackles plus assists. It's just because the market, no one really bets tackles other than Ryan Noonan. So there's that. So there's not many people hitting the numbers. So right now, if you were to bet on him to go over, who is this guy? Caden Ellis, over 6.5 tackles. If you bet 100 at BetMGM on, what's that look like? The over. And then the under at Caesars, you bet $70.76. Your profit would be $3.31 no matter what. Because he has to get, he can't end on 6.5. So he would have to go either over or under. It doesn't matter which side you bet. If you bet both of them, you're going to make a profit. That's just arbitrage. It's as old as literally time. People have been doing this forever. OddsJam built this tool, though, because there's no chance you would find this on your own. That's why this tool is so helpful. You can just do it quickly. But again, you got to move quick. The lines move fast. It is what it is. But, I mean, who could beat free money? I hit this screen. What's up, Nigel?
Someone's asking for some first AB K props. Yeah.
Ooh. All right, those are tough to find on OddsJam. I found them using – all right, so here's what I do to find those. You want to know? All right, that's the next thing I do. Hit the screen, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go to – I can't walk through the whole thing because I go to other sites, but what you do is you go to pitcher strikeouts, and then – do they have first at bat? No, they won't have first at bat because those things don't get released until literally the lineups are announced. So they're not even live for longer than a couple hours. But what you want to do is you want to find your power pitchers. So 6.5, 7.5, those are the guys you're going to dive into that game. You are going to dive into, here's a 7.5, a Hunter Green. You're going to dive into him. Now I'll do that right after I jump off this live screen. I'm driving at both of those. All right, Griffin Canning, 6.5. Like, so basically these books are calling for these guys to strike some people out. Bobby Miller's at 6.5. Although he's not really a 6.5 guy, but anyway, so you go on the screen, you find the highest total. Looks like there's 4 of them that are in the 6.5, 7.5 range. That's a good range. So now you want to jump into that game and find your mark. I'll do that once I get up this live stream. I usually use Roto Grinders Plate IQ. They have what each individual pitcher throws, and then they also have how the hitters hit those pitches. So it kind of works. But again, like using the screen, that'll get you right there. All right, so after that, sometimes I hit the middles page. It's tough. I like to find middles like this one, Ritter over 185.5 yards. It is actually an ARB, but it actually both could hit. If he lands on 186, it looks like both of these would win. But that's all it is. If you bet 100 at Caesars, I guess, yeah, it is an ARB. Yeah, you've been 47 cents. But what you're trying to do is hit both of them by landing it right in the middle, because one book has 185.5, the other book has under 187 or 187.5. So technically you could middle that, although that's not really a middle. The Calvin Ridley middle looks a lot better. DraftKings has 71.5, FanDuel has 67.5. You could take the over at FanDuel, the under at DraftKings, and you would end up with an opportunity to middle that thing and hit both. And I don't think, you wouldn't even lose anything either. 0%. So if you bet $100 there, that's a free middle right there. So if you bet $100 on Ridley right now, over 67.5 yards at FanDuel, and then you bet under 71.5 at DraftKings, all you have to do is bet 87.72. You won't lose $1. And if it landed on 68, 69, or 70, you would win both of those. That's how the middling tool works. That's a fun one, but be careful putting the exact number in, because they will nuke your account. So let's say you had 100 there, you wouldn't put 87.72 into your book. You would put 88. That makes sense to everybody.
Hey, Slop, someone's asking, actually, Moisty Turtle is asking, which is a great username, by the way, Moisty. Any first TD scorer props you looking at this weekend? For Sunday, I mean?
Let's see what we got here. I was hoping with the psycho filter on the EV page that we would get some of those. Hang on one second. Just go to the support. Actually, I just go to the league NFL. And then have the market width be way up and the odds be way up. But nope, not returning anything. Nothing on positive AV. Those are ARBs, I think, that if you turn on flip, you might be able to find some of those. But the first TDs are always tough for me as well. Like, I see what if anybody's seen what Alex Monahan does, he likes to ARB them at flip. That would probably be the way I attack that market. You make money either way, like whether the guy scores or doesn't. Let's see if we turn on flip. We'll see if that changes anything. Yeah, immediately we have, once you turn flip, because flip has if they don't score a touchdown. So, I mean, Jesus, they're all over the map here. This one looks good. Taysom Hill over is plus 390. So him to score touchdowns plus 390 at DraftKings. If you take under, it's minus 325 at Flip. I think Flip is available anywhere, isn't it, Nigel? Or a lot of states?
It's the most states, I know that. It's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, see, they offer two-way markets where most books will just give you 2 score touchdown, pretty much every book just gives you just 2 score a touchdown, and they don't give you not to score a touchdown. So you can't really arb them, but Fliff is one of the ones that they will give you an option of not to score a touchdown. Well, since that happens, now we have a two-way market, and now we can just compare prices. They are they're plus 205 to score a touchdown, whereas DraftKings plus 390. If we could get fair prices on touchdowns if we had two-way markets, and that's probably why they don't give us two-way markets at the major books. But yeah, if you look here, the ARB page is just full of that's actually a great place to find some ARBs. Is that touchdown market? I'm gonna head over to DGF. That's how I kind of wrap up pretty much every day. Wait till you guys see this. All right, so they have the optimizer. If you want to do, I like to put in Price Picks tickets. Like, you want to have as many as possible, just because of the way it works. I mean, Price Picks is a parlay book basically. So I like to do 6-leg entries. I guess 5-leg is optimal as well. They're both minus 119, but I like the 6 legs just because. But I mean, if you go, I'll look at all these NFL. I mean, there's only 3 right now. But this is how I kind of build some of those tickets using the optimizer, and then I'll look at different sports as well. Maybe hit MLB since there's games tonight. If you look on MLB, there's a lot of profitable plays. Price Picks is one of my favorites just because they have these are just weird categories. Player hits plus runs plus RBIs. Well, actually, that's not that weird, but hang on. There's fantasy score. In football, they have punts. I mean, they're all over the map. Like, stuff that you can't really bet on sports books, which is fine, but whatever. Ooh, Matt Olson, Matt. That's what Lucy had. They got him under 9 in fantasy score.
I'll text him right now.
You see what they're doing to you on DGF? All right, so there's that. But the tool I like the most on here, I'm addicted to it, is I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I feel like I am. I'm dedicated to it. How about that? Is the correlation tool. This is by far the best tool, I think, on the planet. It gives you correlated slips. You can toggle on and off too, and you can receive them via email. I turned them off today because they were just smashing my email because they were coming left and right. But look how many there are. I mean, they're all, look at that, Nigel. And they're from different ones too. So you got parlay play at a 611. Ooh, I'm putting this in right now. Profit margin. It likes Garoppolo over his 229 passing yards. Josh Allen over 255.5 passing yards. And then it has the punch, just like we're talking about. It's all correlated. So if Josh Allen goes over, you look at one of his receivers, Stephon Diggs down here, he's likely to go over his receiving yards. Jimmy Garoppolo goes over his passing yards, then Devontae Adams is likely to go over his receiving yards. That's just how the passing game works. But also, too, if you got a shootout going on, we're probably not going to have a lot of punts. Sam Martin under 3 punts, and then A.J. Cole under 4.5. If one of these things happen, if the passing yards happen, then the other 4 are very likely to happen, or not very likely, but likely to happen. So it just correlates a bunch of these tickets. Obviously, it doesn't mean the others are going to happen. I think we're getting kind of hit in the comments the other day. We're like, oh, well, that doesn't mean that the punts are going to happen. It's like, no, but it's correlated. Like it has a better chance of happening if these passing yards happen. So that's kind of why we do this.
It's like, when I used to live in New York City and you go out to a bar and you drink a little too much, there's a good chance you were going to wake up in a bed of a girl who you don't even remember talking to, and she lives 15 miles from your house. Those events were correlated. I mean, it doesn't mean it's always going to happen. It's just there's a good chance of it.
There's a better chance of it happening if one of those things happen. You go out drinking, for instance.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So if you keep scrolling down, look at this, dude. There's Prize Picks, there's Underdog. I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. The optimal way to play these is the 6 picks for parlay play, non-insured. Everyone's going to say, oh, well, you can't win as much. Well, that's the thing. See, we don't care how many times we win. We want to win more money. yeah, of course you're going to win more times with the 2 legs, but the problem is you're going to win less money. So you're going to have to hit a very high percent of your picks to just literally break even, which is kind of dumb to do. But the thing is, you'll hit more, you'll win, 32% of the time, say, and still be breaking even. I don't want to do that. I don't care. I'd rather lose 97 times and win 3 times and actually make money. And that's pretty much what you have to do with parlay play. If you hit 3 of them out of every 100, you'll actually walk with money. That to me is better than, winning more. Does that make sense, Nigel? That makes sense to you?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, I have another bar analogy, but I'll leave it there.
Same with the prize picks. It's the same way. Alex Monahan broke down all the math on these. If you check out the OddsJam channel, you're going to find these prize picks videos. Like, he does a really good job of breaking down, your exact percentage that you need to hit and then what your ROI would be if you hit that percentage with these. And it's clear. The six flex, that's the way to go with prize picks. 6 picks non-insured is the way to go with parlay play. But I mean, again, look at all these freaking tickets. I mean, it's going to take me all day to put these in. Anyways, if you like this tool as much as I do, you can get it 25% off with promo code SLOP, 25% off for life. So there is that. And then with OddsJam, promo code SLOP will get you a 14-day free trial. So there's that too.
And those links are in the description, guys. So check them out.
Sorry, guys, I'm looking. I'm going to hit one more. On the arbitrage tool, I just like to just hit refresh. Now I have these. I'm going to go to flip. There it is, too. Taysom Hill. They got soccer there. The corners is back. But that's risk-free money. I mean, that's tough to beat risk-free money. And then one more time, I'll hit the button one more time in the positive EV just to see if anything popped up. Like the psycho filter on still. No. Doesn't look like it. But I mean, literally, if you want to look at what every book has, like, there's no chance you can have the time to open up all your books, because you should have every book and go through the lines. That's ridiculous. You're going to need some sort of tool to do it for you. This OddsJam makes just the best tools out there. I mean, you can look at every single site. These beat all of them. So there's that. All right, guys, I am going to get you a first at-bat strikeout. I'm going to tweet that out at Slop Rules. If you have any questions, you can just ask them in the comments. I'll get to them. If you need anything else, I'm going to do these literally Monday through Friday. One of those days, Mondays, I'll do it with Randall. He's an expert at this app. At all these tools. So there's that too. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.